Hi, a quick video just to talk about the physics essay, the one which is called Understanding and Application of Physics in a Selected Context. So we're just going to talk about the first two sections. Okay, so listen up. The first section is called Context and Situation. The context and situation that we've been talking about is this, and this is what that answer needs. Just a quick background on the James Webb Space Telescope, what it is, what its job is, how large it is, the size of it, its dimensions in meters, and how heavy it is, say in kilograms, and whereabouts it happens to be orbiting, just a background story of it. There are also sentence starters posted, so I want you to go through and use at least 4 of those sentence starters to form sentences, which you can put into that section about the physics, context, and situation, which is the James Webb Space Telescope. So it's that whole situation of the launch of the telescope through to it orbiting not the planet, but around the moon in a special point called the Lagrange. But in particular, you're talking about how that context links to projectile motion and to satellite motion. So we're interested in how the telescope is launched as a projectile on a rocket and how it ends up orbiting. Those are how it links back to the story. Second point is the physics concepts. Now, the physics concepts potentially are a little bit easier to think of, and they're more clearly linked to our investigations. The physics concepts we're looking for are projectile motion, so that's the rocket launch of the satellite is comparable to projectile motion. And the second physics concept we're looking at is satellite orbits. The second part, the satellite orbits, is really only relevant to the level 3s, but everybody has to do projectile motion in their write-up. So I wanted to look at the sentence starters for that as well. For the physics concepts, write sentence starters for the physics concept of projectile motion, and if you're level 3, also write at least 3 sentence starters on satellite motion. So recapping what I've quickly talked about. First part, the context and the situation. The context and the situation is the launch of this thing called the James Webb Space Telescope. It's launched on a rocket into space to go into orbit. That's the situation. So we've got a little bit of a background story about what this James Webb Space Telescope does, how big it is, where it's orbiting. The second thing is the physics concepts. The physics concepts are projectile motion. So we want a description of what projectile motion is using the sentence starters. And the second big physics concept is satellite motion in orbits. That's the work for today, for the first section of that essay. Thank you very much. See you soon.